Hello, my name is Dan Rice, and I am the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition. And I would like to extend my gratitude to each and every one of you for your continued tremendous support for the Ohio Erie Canalway, the Towpath Trail, and Connector Trails. Working together, we are truly creating a legacy for future generations.
And I'm Brett Trier, Chair of the Board of Directors. On behalf of the board, welcome to the 2025 Canal Boat Captain's Ball honoring Laura Duda, Senior Vice President and Chief Communications Officer of the Goodyear Tire Rubber Company. Laura is joining a select group of regional visionary leaders who share a deep passion and unrelenting commitment to Northeast Ohio and our Ohio and Erie Canalway.
You are absolutely correct, Brett. We are so honored and excited to be honoring Laura Duda. Laura has been a longtime supporter of the Ohio Erie Canalway and the Towpath Trail, and she's also an avid user of the Towpath Trail. She's out there regularly on weekends, hiking with her family, with her dogs, and so we are just so excited to honor her at the 2025 Canal Boat Captain's Ball.
Our mission continues to be more important than ever in 2025. Development of the trail is a community resource while promoting the natural, recreational, cultural, and historical resources throughout the Ohio and Erie Canalway National Heritage Area is critical to our region.
2025 is really full of events, programs, and new trail developments throughout the entire Ohio and Erie Canalway National Heritage Area. We are so excited to report that an additional 4 miles of the Ohio and Erie Canal Towpath Trail in Tuscarawas County from Zorville to State Route 416 is currently under construction and should be completed by the second quarter of this year. Also, working in partnership with our community partners and sponsors, we are scheduling 8 canal cleanups to help steward the Ohio and Erie Canalway and the Towpath Trail. And also our resident-led Akron Civic Commons Summit Lake North Shore Park project along the Ohio and Erie Canal, Towpath Trail in Akron continues to make progress, and construction has already begun. And we anticipate completion in the second quarter of 2026.
Those are all fantastic developments, Dan. And as a personal user of the North Shore, I'm thrilled that the rest of the trail is going to be built there. So finally, I know one of your favorite events, the Ohio and Erie Canalway Fishing Derby, is scheduled for Wednesday, May 21st along the Ohio and Erie Canal for school-age children. This is a completely free event. We provide fishing poles, bait, instructions, food, and a raffle for bicycles and fishing tackle to all students and their parents.
Fun and Neat is a wonderful opportunity for children and parents to enjoy an afternoon of free fishing while learning about the Ohio and Erie Canal and the Towpath Trail. As part of this event, we are continuing the tradition of having the Fishing Derby Fun and Neat. The Fishing Derby is an educational hands-on event for Akron area 3rd and 4th graders that teaches them a new hobby and the importance of environmental stewardship. Each year, we welcome students to engage in an evening of free fishing, and they're able to take home their fishing pole. This is really a great way for the kids to connect with the Ohio and Erie Canalway.
I love it. So on behalf of the Ohio and Erie Canalway Coalition, we'd like to thank our Canal Boat Captain's Ball sponsors and supporters, the committee, and everybody else who makes this event possible. We hope that you will join us for the virtual auction that takes place from April 30th until May 7th. Please bid high, bid often, and consider a donation in particular to the Fishing Derby Fund. So, as we close, to Laura Duda.
Congratulations, Laura. We salute you and thank you for your support and passion for the Ohio and Erie Canalway Coalition.
Salute.
This tastes like sweet tea.
I met Laura when she first moved to Akron and joined the United Way board. We were seated next to each other in a meeting and ended up passing notes or laughing about something, which led us to get together for lunch, and the rest is history.
I've gotten to know Laura through serving on a couple of community boards together. And she and I just share this passion for community leadership in Akron. And it's just been so much fun to work with her.
I really got to know Laura when we took a trip with the Greater Akron Chamber to Syracuse, New York. And I was able to spend a few days with her, and that's when I really got to see Laura's personality and to realize that she's not only smart, but she's very savvy and she's very funny.
Well, we were introduced, I would say, 5 or 6 years ago by Rich Kramer at an event at Blossom. And we clicked immediately. And then Laura and I occasionally talk on the telephone. We're good friends. She's a wonderful person.
As I think about Laura's leadership style, I feel like some words that my kids use describe it best, and that is Laura has main character energy. She's not a spotlight seeker, but she has an energy and a charisma about her that she really can get people motivated to follow where she's leading. And I think it's served her well. She's put it to good use in helping a number of organizations, including certainly United Way, the Greater Akron Chamber, Leadership Akron. Those are just a few areas where I have run into Laura and watched her in action and watched her really rally a lot of people to get excited about something and support it as enthusiastically as she does.
You know, when I think about Laura's leadership style, she is so authentic. I mean, she is authentic 100% of the time. But at the same time, she's funny. She's got a great wit, and she just cracks these one-liners that just allows the room to come down a notch.
I would describe Laura as a steady leader. And I say that because I've had the pleasure of interacting with her in multiple different settings. Whether it's a professional setting or if she and I are grabbing dinner or lunch. And what I appreciate about Laura, and I would ascribe this to her leadership style and really her personal style, is she is consistent in how she interacts with people and how she treats people.
I had the opportunity of serving with Laura on the Museum of Natural History's board. And there she demonstrated all of her leadership skills. Bright, articulate, inclusive, kind, get to the bottom line, understand the issues, and knows how to get the job done.
Something I really love about Laura is if you met her and talked to her and saw her get really excited about a cause or an organization that she loves in this community, you would just assume clearly this person has been here her entire life. That's not the case. She's lived in Florida, she's lived in Chicago, she's been all over the place, and yet she has taken to Akron as her home, and she invests in it with everything she's got, which I really, really admire.
When I think about serving with Laura on committees and boards, she's one of those people that doesn't say a lot, but when she says something, you better listen, because she is on point 100% of the time.
It is a gift to be able to interact with people at all levels, and to be able to do so where it is genuine, it is authentic. And that's my experience with Laura. And it's something that I don't know that I was looking for it, but I noticed it. And I don't even know that she's deliberate in it. I believe it's who she is.
I think her legacy will be two-part. First of all, I think she does a great job as someone who's in a very important corporate role, as a very big sort of day job, and demonstrating to the community that you can have a job like that and be very dedicated to your professional career and also make time to be a great community citizen. The other part of her legacy is she has like this whole herd of pets, and she's just like an amazing pet mom, which was one of the early reasons that I knew we were destined to be friends.
When I think about Laura's legacy to the Akron community, she's an innovator, she's inclusive, and she's probably one of the best collaborators that I've ever worked with.
My experience in serving with Laura is she uses her voice. And she doesn't use her voice just to be heard, because there are meetings that I've experienced where Laura may not say anything, but the respect that she's garnered is when she does, we pay attention.
Laura is a dear friend. We met through the Rubber Ducks and the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, and she's just the best. Laura makes Akron first. She's passionate, she's caring, she's high energy, and she's devoted. I admire her tenacity, her kindness, her compassion, and her willingness to step up where Akron needs it most. Laura is a wonderful mentor, friend, and trusted confidant. As leaders in the community, we often partner together, share ideas, and think about ultimately how we can move this incredible city forward together. Since arriving in Northeast Ohio, Laura has made Akron her home. She's dove in headfirst on community boards, philanthropic endeavors, and even events just like this. We're so lucky to have her passion, her leadership, and her commitment to Akron, and I know that she loves this place and truly considers it home. Northeast Ohio and Akron have a number of amazing assets, but one of our favorites is our park system, and having access to the towpath trail and the Canalway is incredible, and we're so fortunate to have them right here in Akron.
The Ohio and Erie Canal is a central part of our community and a gem in the community. And when we think about it in terms of health and wellness, that's really the heart of what we do at Akron Children's Hospitals. We want to make sure that our patient families, and not just our patient families, our volunteers, our employees, are focused on their health and their well-being. And having even the trail in our backyard, it's really a gift to us. And so we make it a point to remind our employees that we have the trail right behind the hospital, and remembering to tell new employees that come to the organization about this blessing that we have in our community that not all communities have.
It's really the center and the heartbeat in my mind when it comes to everything as it relates to downtown Akron. It brings people downtown, and it's just what community is all about. It just creates this sense of community, and I think it's important for companies like Goodyear to invest and support the work that's doing. It just creates this tremendous sense of community.
My 3 words for Laura Duda are smart, committed, and sassy.
Boy, the 3 words for me: she's authentic, she's passionate, and she's strategic. Laura's just a rock star at the end of the day.
If there were 3 words that I could use to describe Laura, I would say smart, loyal, funny.
Passion, community, and funny.
Well, the truth of the matter is, there's no 3 words that can describe this woman. She's fabulous. But I would start out with bright, articulate, inclusive, but I have to add the word strategic thinker.
Congratulations, Laura. You are an amazing leader and a friend, and I hope we find lots of good trouble to get into together in the coming years.
Laura, I am so proud of you and happy for you for this well-deserved recognition. And the best part of this for me is the fact that you don't do what you do for this, but it's awesome that you're being recognized for all of the great work that you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Laura, my friend, my girl, huge congratulations on being the 2025 Ohio Erie Canal Boat Captain. You rock.
First of all, I consider it a privilege to have been able to talk about this young woman, and it is so deserved that she's getting this reward, and it's deserved from many different prospects or perspectives, from the community and from her commitment to giving back to the community, and then to all of us this evening, having the opportunity of recognizing her leadership and being part of our community. You're the best, Laura.
So being an honorary canal boat captain is not something I ever thought I would achieve in my lifetime, yet somehow here I am, and I couldn't be more honored or more happy to represent Goodyear, to be part of the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition, and to serve in this important role. My career has been primarily, before coming to Akron, was in the energy industry. So I worked in my hometown of Tampa, Florida, and then in Chicago in the energy industry, which really helped form who I am as a career professional. And then starting in late 2015, I started doing some interviews in Akron and was ultimately, as I say, lured by the glamour of the tire business. And I made the move to Akron to work for Goodyear. So it has been amazing. And what I've done throughout my career is lead communications. And you might say, what's that? Is that marketing? No, it's not marketing. Communications is a department within an organization. This is how I view it and how I view my role. Concerned about how a corporation or organization relates to all of its stakeholders and about that organization's reputation. So that's what my team works on all the time. So I've been doing that throughout my career. Think about media relations, internal communications, social media, all of those types of things. But this is the very first place, and probably, I'm pretty sure the only place, where I will have the opportunity to lead an airship operations team, which I do here with the world famous Goodyear blimp. One of the things when I first started interviewing with the idea of potentially coming to Akron, I thought, I'm gonna like this job and I'll probably be okay with Akron. The great surprise in all of this for me that still delights me every day is that I absolutely love Akron. There is no place I'd rather be than the greater Akron area. It has everything that I want in a community, and one of the things that I think is near and dear to the hearts of everyone watching this video, it has the most amazing outdoor amenities that you could ask for pretty much anywhere in the world. We rival any other area. I would put money on that. So to understand my love of the outdoors and love of hiking, we have to go way back to my childhood. And my childhood involved growing up in Florida. And when you think of Florida, you think of the outdoors as beaches and surf. And that was all I knew, except for the fact that we didn't have a lot of money. So our vacations were typically road trips to state parks, national parks. So I got to travel and see a lot about the outdoors. And those are really some of my happiest memories growing up, which have really stuck with me. There are things like going out with my family, my dad, my mom, my sister, hiking, having a picnic, staying at the cabins at the state park. So those are the things that were all formative. And I feel like now here in Akron, I get so many of those same types of amenities, which are favorites to me. So it all kind of comes back. And why I like hiking is it is the one thing, I think one of the few things in the world that can quiet an overactive brain. Being in the outdoors is really kind of like a moving meditation. So it's something that I really can't do without. One of the things that I really love about the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition, I think everyone knows the Towpath Trail, but I don't know that everyone knows that what this organization does is really look at the entire ecosystem around that trail and think about every aspect of it, including the people who are affected by it, who benefit from it, who live near it. So I think that's one of the things I love about this organization, is just looking holistically at this asset that we have and the communities that surround it. One of the things about state and national parks and treasures like that, and treasures like the towpath, are these things are available to all. These things are not things that are reserved for the wealthy. These are things that everyone can enjoy. So that's one of the things that was really beneficial for me and my family growing up. Some of the parks that we really enjoyed on our family vacations, that these are precious, precious memories to me, are the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and also Mammoth Cave National Park, where we spent a couple of weeks in 2 different summers. So those 2 were outstanding. And since I've been an adult, I've been able to go to Yellowstone, which I think is perhaps the most spectacular place on earth. But my love of those parks and these assets that really make life wonderful for everyone are things that are really, really important to me. This job at Goodyear, while I've always been an avid community servant, this is the first time that community engagement has been part of my formal role, and I couldn't be happier about that. We do a lot, and I think you have to look at the formation of the company to really understand how deeply rooted that is in our culture. Our founders, the Cyberlings, they made this a priority for themselves and for their associates 125 plus years ago. So for me to be a steward of that type of legacy is probably one of the most meaningful things I will ever achieve in my career. And we do community engagement year-round in most corners of the world. And that is highlighted by our Global Week of Volunteering, which happens each year. And we're doing projects in 40 locations around the world. We are working with nonprofits that focus on safe mobility, sustainability, STEM education, and other topics. So we give tens of thousands of hours to this effort, and I would argue that it gives back to the community, but I think it gives even more to our associates because I think it is the happiest week of the year here at Goodyear. One of the things we do during Week of Volunteering here at Goodyear is professional development for our nonprofit and civic partners. We know that we have a strong learning and development function here. We also have a lot of talented associates who have skills in a lot of areas. We also recognize that some of our nonprofit partners and partners at local governments may not have access to these type of opportunities. So during and surrounding Global Week of Volunteering, we have associates give presentations on, it could be anything from a software package to how to manage a project to I do a little bit on public speaking sometimes. So we all really enjoy it. And our associates like being recognized as experts. They like the chance to engage with the community. So again, Global Week of Volunteering is a time when everybody wins. I first became aware of the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition upon joining Goodyear. This is an important organization that Goodyear has supported since I think at least the 1990s as far as our records show. And I was fortunate in some of my early days in my role, which my current role started in 2019, to have lunch with Dan Rice. And during that time, he explained more about the organization, and I felt really compelled to get involved personally. And what I really like is I think it's probably a simpler matter to look at a trail and just take care of the trail. I don't mean it's easy, but it's simpler. But what the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition does is they look at everything surrounding the trail, the recreational, the historical, and the cultural aspects that surround the trail to make it a bigger idea and a bigger benefit to the community. So obviously hearing that and with a strong personal belief and love for trails and hiking, this was an organization I knew I wanted to be part of. So I firmly believe that I can't be successful, my organization can't be successful unless everyone around us is successful. And this is a belief that comes from my formative years, my formative career years working in the utility industry, where there is a philosophy that's hardwired into their leaders that they can't be successful unless the community around them is successful. So you will usually see utilities giving back quite a bit. And that has followed me into this role and will probably follow me my whole life because I really believe that we have a responsibility not just to drive business success, but to drive community outcomes. I think that a community is only as strong as its weakest members. So I'm often motivated to give back in areas that help us all be stronger together. And that's one of the things that I've loved about moving to Akron because that spirit is really alive here. People really work together. People want to collaborate. People want to help. People want to give back. And that's really made this feel like home really quicker than it could have otherwise felt. We are fortunate at Goodyear in that we employ several different generations at once. And I think that the difference I see between probably when I started too many years ago and people entering the workforce now, I think with the rise of social media, digital communications, immediate gratification, I think what I'm seeing is short attention span and desire for really quick results, quick feedback, outcomes like that. So what I think I would advise young people or new entrants to the workforce to do is have a long-term view of your career. And it won't all work out. And sometimes the things that don't work out are the things that are the most valuable because none of us really learn when everything is going perfectly well. It's those stumbles and those things that don't go exactly right that really help us learn the lessons and pay the tuition that we need to get to the next level. So I guess my biggest piece of advice is, take a long view of your career and think about it strategically. Looking at this honor of being the honorary Canal Boat Captain for the Ohio Erie Canalway Coalition in isolation, I'm already honored. But then When I look at the list of people who has served in this role previously, heroes of mine like Bill and Becky Considine and my good friend Fran Seiberling Buckholzer, that honor is really increased 1,000-fold. So I couldn't be happier to serve in this role this year.
This was our first fishing derby. We enjoyed ourselves. How you guys liked it? It was fun. They caught a couple fish.
I caught one fish and it was so
fun. The people were so nice. They helped us. We didn't know what we were doing at first. And then we started fishing. It was so fun. She won a bike and he won a fishing pole. And definitely we're going to be putting those fishing poles to work this summer.